20 years ago, Atlanta won the bid to host the 1996 Centennial Olympic Games, and despite initial doubts, the city put on one of the most memorable games in recent history.
There was great surprise in the world because nobody outside of the United States really even knew what Atlanta was, even though it was beginning to become a corporate headquarters and it was beginning to become a business center. I mean, you ask Europeans for cities in the United States, and it's basically New York, LA, and San Francisco. And one of the things that struck me was that Atlanta had almost purposefully avoided any link to Olympic sport until it bid for the Olympic Games. There were no events that went on down here related to Olympic sport.
But Atlanta wanted to show the world they were ready for the Games, and the people started to embrace the Olympic spirit.
The atmosphere here was really exciting. I was actually working at a hotel at the time, and I mean, everything was Olympics. Everything, I mean, I just wanted to live in the city, be in the city, and be involved in everything. So I really enjoyed it. And I love diversity, and the company I work for is very diverse. But so I loved that everybody was here and just enjoying themselves and came to just be a part of Atlanta and then feel the Southern hospitality that we have here. So it was great.
People were coming out in droves, very, very festive, making signs, painting their faces. It was just absolutely amazing. It's a different kind of Olympic Games when you're the home team because everybody is cheering for you and you really feel that positive energy that's literally willing you to win.
The International Olympic Committee always talks about leaving a legacy and not wanting to leave financial white elephants, really in terms of stadiums and arenas that suck money out of a community and are not being used.
With a budget nearing close to $2 billion, Atlanta needed help from the big companies who are also looking to get their names spread throughout the world.
It's easy for us to look at corporations as big and bad and corrupt and all, evil. And if you listen to a presidential campaign, it's all about how terrible all of it is. I'm not disagreeing that there are some issues to discuss, but the flip side of this always is that if you don't have that corporate sponsorship of the Olympics, you don't have the Olympic Games. So there's no way they could put these things on. I mean, it's the biggest, as we know, the Olympics are always the biggest scheduled peacetime gathering of the world. Coca-Cola has always been a huge part of it. And let's face it, the Atlanta Olympics, Atlanta getting the games was a great boon to Coca-Cola, but it's also a great boon. It's also a great boon to these companies, Coke and McDonald's, whatever, to go to Beijing and to go to Rio and to be able to get their products in those places. One of the reasons Rio got the Olympic Games, probably the main reason Rio got the Olympic Games, was when they showed in their presentation, they showed a map of the world and they put spots where the Olympics had been. So Europe had many, North America, Asia, and of course there were no marks at all for South America. And so the idea to open up that part of the world to its first Olympics was very enticing, not only for the corporate sponsors, but for the International Olympic Committee.
After being announced in 2009 as the host city for the 2016 Olympic Games, Rio's economy took an unpredictable downturn, posing a question on whether or not the city was ready to host the Games.
The human suffering part, yes, there is human suffering related to the Olympics because some people are displaced, and you could argue that, for instance, in a country like Brazil, which is about to host the Olympics, that the needs are, bread is more needed than circuses, and the needs in terms of health and public education and transportation and all in Brazil are much more paramount to everybody but a tiny percentage of the population.
Tá uma situação bem ruim e vai manchar um pouco a imagem do Rio de Janeiro, que o Rio teve 7 anos para se preparar, teve uma certa evolução e depois deixou tudo cair de novo. Ainda tiveram agora alguns casos de atletas que vieram para eventos teste e tiveram problemas com a água. Também é um dos problemas, vai ser um dos problemas dessa Olimpíada.
Rio, it may set a record for the most news stories going into an Olympics that are not about sports, and it is troublesome. But I think with Rio, you've got like a triple whammy, really. You've got, of course, the favelas, the resettlement, the destroying of people's homes, moving people, those issues. You've got the pollution concerns. which are incredibly troubling, especially for the open water swimmers, the triathletes, the sailors, the polluted water, and just how in the world they can clean that up, which we know they really can't clean it up completely. And then you've got the Zika virus.
Até mesmo no Rio de Janeiro, andando em táxis hoje, vários táxis, o pessoal você não vê comentário de Olimpíada. Eles falam de crise e tudo, e falaram alguma coisa de construção, a respeito das Olimpíadas e tal, mas mesmo o pessoal daqui eu vejo que não está muito focado agora, pela política, eu acho.
Meu maior medo é em relação aos estádios, às instalações, para saber se vai ficar tudo pronto, se vai estar tudo ok, se eles vão entregar a tempo, porque a gente vê aí faltando 4, 5 meses para a Olimpíada, ainda tem algumas instalações que não estão completas.
In terms of what the citizens of not only Rio but Brazil need most, the Olympics is hardly a priority. It should not be a priority. The budgeting issue, the budget has gone up 28%, I believe, from what was in the bid book in 2009. In spite of the fact that they've been cutting, there was a $100 million increase between August of last year and January of this year, which was the most recent accounting. So these budgets, for reasons involving corruption and people getting payoffs and whatever, and for other reasons, these budgets go up.
Eu acho que uns 2 meses atrás, até uns 2 meses atrás, o pessoal está mais empenhado com isso e tal. O Rio de Janeiro, que é sede, né? Lógico que está bem mais que o Brasil todo. Agora, com essa política nossa aí, eu acho que isso quebrou um pouco esse negócio, sabe? Eu acho que o pessoal está muito envolvido com essa questão de política e está esquecendo um pouco dos jogos. A política faz isso, né? O que está acontecendo no Brasil é uma coisa muito absurda.
I would think that the leaders in Brazil owed the people of Brazil more than just an expensive 1-month-long affair. That's always going to be a question when you undertake something that's a brief event that may or may not be transformative.
With Brazil, you've really got a lot going on, and I don't remember, I've covered every Olympics since the LA Games in '84, so this will be my 17th Olympics in a row, winter and summer, and I really do not remember a city with this much uncertainty with 6 months to go to an Olympic Games. So Brazil, with the pollution, with the economic concerns and development, will they be ready in time? And then you throw in the Zika virus, oh my gosh. I mean, this is a perfect storm of news, and that's not good news heading into the Rio Olympics.
A gente não sabia lá em 2009 que em 2015 a gente ia ter uma crise econômica fortíssima que ia afetar muito o bolso do brasileiro, a população. Mas no começo teve aquela euforia, todo mundo achou que tudo que foi prometido ia ser entregue, ia ser feito. Eram promessas maravilhosas para a população. No final acabou que foi tudo feito de forma contrária. A gente vai ver uma Olimpíada que poderia ter sido muito melhor do que foi prometida.
Numa folha qualquer eu desenho um sol amarelo, e com 5 ou 6 retas é fácil fazer um castelo.